This is Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. We enthuse, we energize, we inspire, and we empower entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs of all stripes in BW and beyond. Dumela, hello and welcome. Dumela is how we greet people here in Botswana, and welcome to our studio here at Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. Always a privilege and honor to come to you to share a few nuggets and to share with you some of the wisdom that I'm picking from my guests. And can I just please ask you to hit that notification bell as well as the subscribe button so that we can keep providing what we provide here on the Nuggets. Welcome to the studio, Rev Victor Baseki. Mr. Baseki, welcome.
Great. It's my pleasure to be here. It's a great pleasure.
It's always good to start with an introduction. Explain who you are and what brings you here.
Well, mine is a little bit long story, but I'll try to make it short. But well, I'm Victor Baseki, and there's Kohai. They used to call me, Shukobani. And I have a story that I wanted to share here. I'm a lecturer at Botswana Accountancy College in the School of Computing and Information System. And that's just what I'll be sharing with my past experiences, my past life, and just my life story. Personal, very, very closely heart to me, a personal story of life and where I am at the moment.
And in terms of academics, you mentioned an MSc. From where? And
I have an MSc, Masters of Science in Software Engineering from the University of Hertfordshire in the UK. And prior to that, I have a degree in Computer Systems Engineering from the University of Sunderland, in collaboration with the Botswana Accountancy College. That's where I'm working already, Botswana Accountancy College, yes.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And would you care to mention what your job entails currently?
It's a big one, because from the start, it also means mentorship. Because we want to build young professionals. We have to deliver right content, and for us to deliver right content, we have to liaise with industry. We have to set assessments that correlate with that which we teach. We are engaged also with other stakeholders like Botswana Qualification Authority there, which also needs for us to be to be able to deliver such programs. We need to be accredited by BQA, for which therefore, if you are accredited, I'm already an accredited accessor and also an accredited moderator. So these are the things that we normally, as lecturers, we are proud to do, and of great importance is to be able to
I often tell people that here we talk to entrepreneurs as well as entrepreneurs. Would it be fair to describe you as an entrepreneur? You're working within an organization, but you have an entrepreneurial mindset.
Very much true. Because I would say, I don't know if I would be wrong if I could mention that I've got, given a lot of students, current and former students, business ideas that I have also mentored them successfully. And some of which I would mention is a boy who's gone now to do his PhD in Ireland. That boy has formed a company called Aton Tech. And these are the boys that, they will call me and say, wow, you have really given us
what does
the light.
Tech do?
It's into technology. Right now they have embarked on the agricultural sector, where they are using drones, to be able to monitor, the farms, the farmland. So it's a big thing. And interestingly, they were able to even meet the president, Dr. Eric Masisi, to some extent, during a show, to then, share their ideas.
Wow.
So through these, sometimes we say these are the business acumen also that we build in them as entrepreneurs.
Yes.
So because also that's what really Botswana Accountancy College is in for. So
okay.
we
Let's talk a little bit about your early life, and I think let the people know that we're going to talk about mentorship, the importance of what I call inspirational mentorship. But for us to get to there, let's start with your early life.
Yes. Like I said earlier, Mine is a very, very personal, close to me story, and which really, from the earliest of the lives, where I grew up from a small village called Samani, and for which, I would want the viewers here to understand. Samani is where you have your meraka, and one of which is Mahumalebe. That's where, your late dad had his moraka, and you still have that moraka there in Samani. So, in my early life,
that's Mahumalebe. I call myself a product of
exactly.
Cattlepost.
So
this is the other one.
Exactly. So in Samani, I would want to say, Samani, when I grew up, are some of those villages, small villages, 37 kilometers from Joaneng, but they are kind of like segregated. They are not really, or alienated from economic activity. So when we grew up, it was really tough. With a single mother, and at primary they, working with barefoot, chillest of the winters. You'll just go there. One thing I don't know where I got that, the inspiration to just go to school no matter the hurdles. I remember one day I got pinched by a big thorn, and I just used, back then in school we used to bring firewood for, at school, so that they can cook some food for us, like tilani, those yellow beans and So I used that stick I used that stick to really pull myself to school. I never gave in. I never gave up. From standard 1 to standard 7, I never had any shoe to put on. But you know what? I one thing that is so interesting, I was always the first
people
in
find
class.
it difficult to accept that somebody was going barefoot in winter to school. Something that I did, and that's something that you did.
We did that, but people don't believe it. I don't know why. And not that, in those ages in the 90s, it was a common thing to find someone, walking barefoot. And interestingly, again, it was even easier for people through the hardships, those hardships, to just leave school at all and go to the Cattlepost and do not ever come to school. But the perseverance, the belief that this is what somebody needs to do. And I did that irrespective of the hurdles, irrespective of the poverty that I grew up in. But guess what? I managed to finish my standard 7, PSLE. And I would want to say from the Southern District, because back then it was from Mabutsane up to including Sidila Molom. You see what Sidila Molom is. But I was the bestest in that region. The best overall student when I did my primary school leaving examinations. But it is through, I don't know, was it because I had the support base from my mother? She never really believed in failure. She trusted herself even through all the means that she could get to try to provide for us.
So from Samani you went to
Mohali Community Junior Secondary School. I would want to share this, that after I got my PSLE, there's someone where I was sent to, we call the tuck shops. I was sent there and I met somebody there who was a teacher there at Samani Primary School. And she was discussing this, and they saw me, they was like, is he really going to go to junior school? Kind of these people are really suffering. And I'm like, I just looked at her and I told her straight up, I'm going there. And by then, because I knew we were struggling, I had become a head boy, because I started becoming a head boy when I was doing my standard 7. Being a head boy during the midterm breaks. So I had already started in preparing for me going to do what? Form 5, because the junior school was, a distance away from, in another village called Maokane, from our home village. So I really had to, see how best I can help. I was a young boy. I think I was 15 when I embarked on that. So I had agreed with that man to pay me $60. That was a lot of money.
A month?
No, in that 3 weeks period. Because we had normally, but that was a longer period. But that longer period, because normally standard 7 you close around, is it October, November, up to January. So in that period, we had agreed that he will pay me $60. And 60 pula was a lot of money then.
For a head boy?
Yes. And because I was also young, but I had the drive. But during that period, I think I was a little bit being looked down upon. Society.
You're a small
Societal,
boy, yeah.
yes. But, being looked down upon even by your mates because you're just a head boy, you kind of like, you're being looked like you've walked from primary barefoot until, those are the things that, you find that. But then I managed to go to junior school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you also became a security guard in Johnny.
Yes, but that was after I finished my Form 5.
Oh, I see.
Because, in junior school, though it was tough, so I continued. When I went to junior school, interestingly, after that, the first term, during the break of the first term to second term, that's when I met your dad.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where, now, no matter how people looked at me before, the meeting up with your dad really changed my perspective because he never saw in me a head boy, that which other people would see a head boy in me. Because even over the fact that we had agreed on a certain fee for him to pay me, he would even go beyond that and even buy me toiletry before I go to school. Mm-hmm. When he comes, he knows that we are opening on this day. Before that day, on that weekend, he comes.
How did you hook up with my old man?
No, it was a matter of, where when you are a small boy, sometimes you visit another Cattlepost, you see people there. And there was a point where he found me there helping out because there was another Cattlepost where some of my distant cousins were. So sometimes you would visit there. And then at times you just visit another Cattlepost, just you go there, you help. He realized that this guy has the energy to work in a Cattlepost. So he then set me down. I said, this is what I've been doing. This is where my struggles are. I struggle to, get toiletries. I struggle to get this and that. So no, he said, no, you can come help here now and then when your school closes. Then I said, yes. This is the opportunity that I've been looking at. I think that was the beginning of a change of mindset for me. Because the fact that he never saw...
How old were you then?
I think I was around 15, just the same age, because I think I was born in 1983. So which basically means around 97, 98. I was around 14, 15. So that was there. I was a young boy. And I never gave in. When you first see someone not seeing you as a head boy and they treat you like their own son, they know that, yes, you have to go to school. They know that you have to wear some clothes because he would even buy me some clothes just to, change some shoes. That is something that when you see someone treating you like that, then you think and you see that, now this person believes in me. So really that is where everything changed. And I started to become, a better person. And
it wasn't a formal mentor-mentee relationship. It just evolved.
Yes, it just evolved like that. Even my mom, I am the one who only told her that I'm at that your dad's Cattlepost, and we had agreed. But she was also excited when she would see me when I'm going to get my bags, preparing to go back to Mogali. She would be excited to see me coming back with that and also give her money. And saying, but I already have toiletry. She was excited. And wow, because she was a person who had utmost love.
Yeah, I at the time I was just busy running my law practice. So I wasn't aware that my old man was giving you this. But you felt important to share this story after you saw me on the Nuggets. Why?
Yes.
Why?
I remember when I worked at Basi, the then CEO, Michael Lesole, we were just chatting, and then I shared this story with him, and it was like, that this story can really take you, you can inspire a lot of people. I sat on it, really, I sat on it, on that one. But until recently, when I felt like I need to share this story, because we need to inspire people. People are living in, hardships. People are living in moments where we see people having depression and stuff like that. But maybe sometimes your story can give people a sense of hope. Then I felt I needed not to, because obviously sometimes you need not to mention names. But I felt like, why would I just share such stories where Mr. Lerumo Mogobe is there, I have found him on social media. Why not get him to understand that his dad really has left a legacy in me? He has taught me the aspect of determination and perseverance, regardless of the hurdles of life. But I thought to myself, why would I not share with you, so that if need be, we can share the story together? And also yourself being proud of, wow, so this is the work of my dad.
He never spoke about it, and he was obviously doing it out of the kindness of his heart. So when he told me he wanted to share the story, I said, why not? But explain this marginalization and the social exclusion in Samani and how that was, and before you met him and after you met him.
I wouldn't want to think anything much has changed even up to now. Surprisingly, Samani is a small village that is just 37 kilometers from a mining town. But these people have been marginalized to an extent that it is only through bits and pieces where they can just connect the dots to be able to survive. But in the aspects of economic activity, there's too little to really show off. Because I'm one person who want people to be inspired, to be motivated, and to be given a platform to shine. But I don't see that happening much in our home village. And what then becomes is that you find now people starting to leave the village, going to find greener pastures. And when you come for the census, population census, you find that it's like the population is declining very much, to an extent that the recent 2021 population census shows like Samani people are just like 500. It's like the population has really gone down. But this is the same village that really back then it was the core of that area. Even Bomokomas, Maokani, Bolefuku, Samani was the core. But because of the economic exclusion, so it has affected the people. But
because people tend to go away,
exactly,
not to come back.
And the other thing again that I want to show is, I'm so blessed. I don't know, is it because of your dad's inspiration on myself, the mentorship he given me, that I took it to heart. But even beyond that, when I look at the generation that I was with and look at the generation, the newer generation of young people, it's like they need that hope. Because once they fail from, say someone fails from 3, that's done with them. Once they fail standard 7, it's done. Once they fail from 5, it's done with them. And I still feel it is through inspiration, it's through mentorship that those people really need someone to stand for. Maybe I was so lucky to have had your Renono for Mogobe to be, to be there for me. And I never, because in the hardships that I had found, maybe I would still be a head boy, but he gave me the light. He gave me the wisdom to become a better version of myself. Don't think the poverty level that you have, it defines who you can become later.
Are there specific words and phrases that you remember him by? Which he was,
I think to me, he was really, I would say, a little bit strict with me, because he would tell me that, don't disappoint me. Ultimately, if you disappoint me, you are not only disappointing me, you are disappointing yourself. Because they believe in that you can become whatever you can or you wish to, is starting from within yourself. All I can do is just to support you. That was the first time when he gave me the toiletry, when he gave me some shorts. He had bought me some shorts and some nice shoes then. So that is when he started, because that was the first time when he was paying me, because he was going back to Kanye. But he really gave me that ground, the starting point, and motivating. So, it only starts with seeing that this man believes in you. Don't disappoint them. So that is where my journey started. Yeah.
Now, did you spend every holiday with him? How did
the moment we met, that was it until I finished my Form 3. Yes. Until Form 1 up to Form 3. Every midterm, I was there. Midterm break, I will go there. That 3 weeks, I will go there. You know why? You'll go there. You have found inspiration. You have found mentorship. You have found someone who, beyond the hardships that you ever encountered, beyond the fact that you are just a head boy, he doesn't see you that way. He sees somebody with potential. Where would you go when somebody like that believes in you? You can't. You have to come back because that's where my food is. That's where my inspiration is. That's where you get your wisdom. So you can never you run away.
So the time you was driving that white stout, you used to
the 1976 one.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, back then, those years where if you were a head boy, your boss, sometimes they will put you at the back with the goods there, and for me, I was riding in front with him. I was riding right in front with him because, that alone, sitting here and looking at back, sometimes I feel emotional about the fact that I didn't even pay my respects because I never knew when he passed on. I only knew later. Yes.
You didn't come to the funeral.
I didn't.
In 2015.
So sometimes when I'm sitting there, I'm like, it takes only such little things that you would not recognize. That then when you sit down, you will feel, wow, this is because of that man.
One of the messages you shared with me is he taught you never to undermine your self-worth. I have a two-part question. Why do you think people undermine their self-worth, and what did you do to help you not undermine your self-worth, which is really your self-esteem?
The thing is, if you think of yourself from the outside perspective, the outside perspective can bring darkness in you. But because I always say the universe is an interconnectedness of energies. It is the energy that you exert to the universe that which defines how your universe becomes. So he built in me the capacity to understand that hope begins from within. Sometimes the things we do are from the desperation that we have. Because in this, he once told me that I don't want to see you becoming a Modisa in your life. I don't want you to become a Modisa in your life. So therefore, it gives positive energy. So if you have positive energy, you exert positive energy outside. Sometimes your positive energy can sometimes to other people ignite hatred because they see you becoming, So in that case, I always believe that I can become what I want and wish for.
Okay. Now, he used to tell me that if I don't study, I'm going to literally consume the waste of my peers, the excrement of my peers. It was actually very harsh.
It was on saying that he was harsh.
Yeah. But did he say the same to you?
Same.
And how did you interpret that message?
Interestingly, it was because there's a man. I don't know if I need to mention him. He's the current deputy mayor of Jwaneng. I see him as a father too. He's the first man who paid me that $60 before I went to junior school. So in that case, when he said that to me, I looked at myself being someone who can then inspire and say those words to someone else. That tomorrow, if you do not care for yourself, you'll be chowing the waste of your peers. So there is no point in anyone saying those when they're actually feeding on that waste. So I had to be also tomorrow be the one saying those words to someone else to inspire them. So because I got inspiration, because my view is sometimes you get inspired, you get inspiration and even get blessed, so that your blessings become blessings to other people. So that's how basically I would say it myself, to say his words resonated well with me in telling and motivating someone be closer to me or after myself. So that's exactly what I've always tried to do in my life.
His other great saying was "Morobongolo go betla wa taola, wa motho wa ipetla." Explain to the viewers what that means in simple language.
Moremogolo wa ipetla.
Yes.
Hey, wa taola ko ona o betlwa. This to everyone out there, I would say. I think it resonates the same sentiments that I've said. That in anything in any world, any success, any motivation, any inspiration, any hope you get starts from within. And I always say, the positive energy starts from here. Because if you let the world define you, then you will become what the world views you. Because if the world defines you as this, that's where they build you. So now we are saying, let not the world build you, build yourself from within, and the positive energy will transmit from within going outside. It's more like saying sometimes when you leave your house and when you look at yourself in the mirror and you think, this t-shirt doesn't sit well with me, it doesn't feel good, but you continue wearing it. Do you know that your day is going to be like that? You're not going to be feeling comfortable yourself because of the little t-shirt that you thought you were wearing was not really looking good or something like. You will never walk the streets with your chest out. Never. But when you look at yourself in the mirror and you say, wow, this is the man. Now you're going to hit the streets with your chest out. So that is something that I've always had in me, to say, build yourself. Build yourself. And when you build yourself, irrespective of how the hurdles, the tribulations, you are going to over.
And how did you apply this in your life? For instance, when you had major hurdles, how did you approach those hurdles? You told me of the time you were a security officer, a security guard, a night watchman.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
That is when after I had done my Form 5, because now a very hurtful moment occurred in my life. I lost my support system, who was my mother, in the middle of Form 5 exams. And we were writing paper 3s. And she passed away then, 2002, October 27. And I was like, this is the moment where a man is got to be a man, no more a boy. Because she passed on when my little brother was 8, the little sister was, the little brother was 12, the little sister was 8, and the last born was just 4. I had to become now a man. I was 19. And at that moment now, I had also lost a little bit of support from the family at that moment.
How is that?
Because, sometimes families, we know families, sometimes there is no cohesion, that people who are not really, they are at loggerheads, that kind of thing. That is exactly the decision, why I made the decision in January, after I had finished Form 5, to now go and look for, because I had lost some books at Moedin College. So I needed to pay for me to get my result slips. So now, where do I get this money? That was why on the 10th of January, 2003, I became a Makatani. We normally call that Makatani, security guard, in joining a company called Jeps Security, to try to make some money that I can go and use to pay up for the lost books at Moedin College. That's when I became a security guard. Yes.
So in other words, those words you had received toughened you
Exactly.
to think that it doesn't matter what happens, you can make a
You
plan.
can make a plan.
And you made a plan.
And I made a plan. And I made sure that I go, pay, get my books, at my we call results. After I got my results, now it was a moment to start applying for universities.
Okay.
Because even beyond that, after just my mother passed on, we had a meeting with the head, Mr. Ntsiane, when he was the headmaster at Moeding College. They had thought maybe this boy needs to just write the exams next year because it had affected him. Because yes, really it had affected me. But I said no. I will just try to fight. But ultimately I got, I think, 39 points, 40, somewhere there.
Yeah.
And at least because I was a 44, 46 kind of like point student. But then I made a 39, I think it was 39. So, but then I never gave in. So I now stayed at some, there's the owner of the filling station, the Shell filling station in Joanning. The owner there, he had some farm. So the guy who I was at his Cattlepost then, after I got my result, because I only worked as a security guard for only 2 months, just because I was just trying to make money to go and pay for that. So then I went to this other guy. He was a transport coordinator in the Ministry of Agriculture. So just to look after his cattle, we moved them near to the to big farm for what's his name? The owner of Shell. So when I was there, then that's when I was applying for Resebonejo. Yes, thank you for that. I was applying for BUB and things like that. So at that moment, I had given this man my papers to submit at UB, because back then in UB you had around 160 application fee. So that this man can use that to pay for my for my application, because you are staying in Gaborone. I gave him the papers. Guess what? September, July, people are getting responses back. I don't get any. I came to UB. What's going on? They told me, no, we cannot. We are going to the systems. We are going to our records. You can't find your name. Did you ever even bring your application? I said yes, because I trusted the man. But only until September, when I lost my granny, it was then when this man gave me my papers back. I was like, whoa. So this is the one guy who's not forgot, because this man, when I was staying there was a time when I wanted to come to Gaborone. I actually came to Gaborone at his house with my bag to try to move around, apply at other places. Friday, this man, he tells me, let's go back to the Cattlepost. No, okay, fine, we go. It's a Friday anyway, it's a weekend. So we go there. On Sunday morning, this guy leaves. He says he's going to buy some bread in the home village in Samani. Okay, cool. I knew that he was coming back, then we can go back to Gaborone. The guy doesn't come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Friday, when he comes back, he brings my clothes. Then that was the end of me and that man. Because in me, I saw that this guy sees a head boy. For which I was told by your own dad that, no, I don't want to see you becoming a head boy. And I said no to that man. I went back to my home village. And in there, that's when that was already late to be doing any application.
So did you lose a whole year?
Yes, I lost that whole year. I lost the whole of the year. Then, obviously, when people are looking at you, you are there. They knew you were brilliant at school. They knew you were the best student at primary and junior. But you are all here. Your friends and peers are in UB, some in MCEs. Some had joined.
What explanation did he give for not
nothing?
Submitting? Okay,
nothing. Because no matter the explanation, I was never going to believe it. Because I believed that no matter the hurdles, find a way out.
So what did you do then?
Then I rested, because there was no point, because by then normally universities have closed. So I just sat back at home and then waiting for the year to just end. So come around the same time where now this general election registration, voter registration, I think I missed that one. And then the next one, which was on, I think it was March, April, the next one, the following year, 2004, that's when now I became, I applied for that position to go supplementary registration. I went to Sidla Mulumu there. I think I ended around 2.1. Yes. And when that 2.1 finished, it was on the 17th of August, 2004.
The year had gone.
No, it had not gone. By that time now. I had applied to
I mean, a year since the last time.
yes.
You
So
got
now
to-
we were almost half a year again. So now applications to university have started now.
Yeah.
So I come back here, start applying. Then I meet a cousin of mine in town. He tells me, no, there's a school called BAC. I'm like, so I thought he meant BIAC. There used to be, the one
Yeah,
that
they used
the
to
public college.
Yeah, they
Yes.
used to be back Botswana.
Yeah, it used to be
Accountants.
BIAC, Botswana
yeah.
Institute of Accounting or
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. So okay, I thought he
Botswana
meant
Institute
that.
of Accounting and Commerce.
Exactly. So I thought he meant that. I said no, but normally those ones is diplomas and stuff. But he sent me to Fairgrounds, and before that one, after I applied, then I applied also to become a soldier, for which I was just doing because
Pastime.
it just But then I did that, and around September I get a letter from BDF that now you are coming. I had some dreadlocks. I cut them off. A week later, I received a letter from BAC because now I had applied at BAC for an interview. I came for the interview. When I got back, I passed my interview. Now I got done with going to be a soldier, going to the BDF. No, because I needed something better off. Well, that's when the money finished. There was this other old man. I borrowed a 50 puller from him. He gave me that 50 puller. That was almost September. Now, after passing my interview, a week later, a letter of admission from Botswana Accountancy College. But this is the catch. BAC then, you had to pay 250 registration fee. Where do I get that? I had to scratch my head. Knock door to door. Nothing comes out.
Among relatives and friends.
Nothing comes out. Like literally nothing. And during those years, in the primary school and during the independence celebration, people normally would pay, contribute 10 pullers to, so that they can do celebrations at the main khotla. And I went to this other lady. She was my class teacher when I was doing standard 7. She said, I don't have any money, send me. I said, you know what? Now this is the last try that I'm going to ask you a favor. Could you kindly go ask the principal in the primary to, at least from the contributions that are being made, give me just 200 puller so that I can go and pay for this future of mine.
To register.
The first try, it failed. I persisted. I went back to her. I said, if need be, I'll go and meet that head teacher. But she went back, she reasoned with them. Because that woman believed in me even. She reasoned with them, then boom, the 250. But I don't have money for transport.
To come to Gaborone.
To come to Gaborone. Now I had to hustle. Yes, I hustled, got some money. I think it was 30 puller. Then I came to Gaps. I paid, went back, and then that was the beginning of a new chapter. A new chapter. Now I'm in tertiary, doing computer systems engineering degree in collaboration with University of Sunderland. Then first semester distinction, second semester distinction. I was a good student.
Yeah.
I was a good learner, because if I was not, I wouldn't have been at BAC. The first lesson I got where? From your dad. Never give in, never give up.
Yeah.
So
But you also turned out to be a very hardworking student. What are you currently doing now exactly?
I'm still at BAC as a lecturer. And BAC, through BAC I managed to acquire my MSc. They are the ones who really paid for it. So obviously you have to give back, and I'm still a lecturer there. Here and there, you try to venture into business, but sometimes business needs you to take risks.
Yeah.
And taking risks sometimes might mean having to leave BAC, because there's what we normally say, conflict of interest.
Yeah.
We need you here.
You're also a web developer.
Yes, I am a web developer. Because interesting, when I was still at BAC, when I was doing my year 3, being a hard worker as I was, people, grapevine will always go around to say, there's this other boy at BAC, he does some company, it's called MindQ Multimedia company, owned by, I think that guy was Sabian. So they hunted me, and I said, no, I want to focus on my education first. Okay, good. Did my year 4. After my year 4, they came knocking again. I said, can I at least have at least a break of a month at least? They said, okay, cool. And then I got that break. Really, yes.
What was it that attracted them to
you know when someone is a friend to someone and they talk out there, they need a developer, and there's this other guy at Basi, Baseki, that's how they got to know me, and then they approached. So even after I finished my 4 years at Basi, they came knocking, and then I got my 1 month break, and then February I started working with them. No, it was March. I started working there as a web developer with the company. At that time, I did a portal for NDB, did a portal for Naka. Nowadays, it's no longer called Naka, right? And I did. No, Navtech is for the food thing.
Not Naka.
I
forgot what they are called.
Yes.
Yeah, but the AIDS one.
Yes, the AIDS one, yeah. So that is the one that I developed the product for. And the other one was other ministries and other government departments.
When somebody hears MSc software engineering, in this day and age of AI, you ask yourself, what does it entail exactly? Is there an AI component? What can you tell us?
Software engineering really encompasses various things in terms of the ability to ultimately deliver the right product that is fit for purpose to clients and to users. Because software engineering starts from the inception of a project, from the idea itself. Where you have an idea to have, let's say, WhatsApp, you say you want people to be able to chat, to send text, to send voice notes. So this stems from understanding the environment first, being able to know what really you are trying to achieve. Because I always say tell people that the most important aspect to building systems is knowing what to build. Knowing what to build. Because ultimately when you do that, you ultimately at the end of the project, you know that you did the right product. So that is the software engineering aspect. In terms of AI, computing is a very interesting area.
Yeah.
Because there is nothing in this world that we live where there is no computing. Anything you think of, be it tourism, agriculture, nursing, health, even politics. Politics.
I understand.
You talk about crowdfunding everywhere.
So how are you applying AI yourself?
Artificial intelligence is it's a very big thing. It's the in thing these days, matched up with what you normally call data science. Because the intelligence that I always say to people that when you look at artificial intelligence is built on experience. I hope you get that.
No, I'm following.
So what you learn ultimately gives you intelligence. If you give a kid a phone, you tell them to play a game, they will build blocks on that phone. Ultimately, when they know that, this one is a circular one, so it fits here. Now they know that, okay, now they pick another one, they put here, they will know that, okay, so that's built intelligence. They become smart. And the smartness is built on that experience that they've already gained. So even the machines in terms of artificial intelligence, it's what they learn now and then. So normally we create models of data. They learn from this experience and then they can ultimately say, if it's like this, I know it is going to be this way.
Yeah.
So it could be even an issues around weather, issues around, learning a language. Just like you could talk to Siri in your iPhone, you could talk to Google Assistant. So these are the things that are really for AI. It's all based around those lines.
Your institution and yourself, are there any particular solutions you are providing or challenges you are tackling to provide solutions?
There is. I think BAC has taken quite a long time really come to the fold in terms of utilizing the power. Sometimes we don't understand and realize the power that we have as people, as institutions. The knowledge is the power. When people tell you that knowledge is power, it's not only what I know, it is always also about what you know that I can use. Then we have power, we have leverage because of that. So the reason why I'm saying BAC has delayed for a longer time, with our skill sets, we should be able to, participate in the economy. We should be able to participate, but I think it's not enough.
Not to the extent that
yes, it's not really enough, but it's a work in progress that I think we can carry moving forward.
You seem to be providing mentorship yourself, having been mentored. Tell me about the Google Developer Student Club.
Wow. The first of its kind in Botswana. We have different companies, we have different institutions that we subscribe to, be it Google, be it Microsoft. But these institutions, these big companies, they also provide tools, they provide a lot of packages that also as academia, as well as other institutions, we can use these tools to take the technological space somewhere. So I picked that. We have students, and then I picked that we have students that are good. I picked that also, that we need to use companies like Google to bring a different mindset to our students, that when they are working with such companies, it motivates them that, wow, I've got a t-shirt from Google. So that's where Google student developer clubs started. And I then mentored this young boy called Mogobe. He was the first ever in Botswana to be a Google developer student club. And BAC, Botswana Accountancy College, was the first institution in Botswana, tertiary institution in Botswana, to have a Google developer student club. Through my mentorship, through my,
What are the implications of such an achievement?
This noble idea, Google provides packages, like I was saying, to these students. They ask them, and also it builds leadership. That is why I was saying Mogobe was the first Google developer student club lead. He's the first, and his first encounter, he then was, within a month, he was sent to Ghana for a Google student developer summit. And I went to BAC and sat them with the management and say, I need this equipment provided for this young boy to go and learn. So now it's normally a yearly thing. So normally Google, what it does is it gives these young kids the platform to express themselves, to build communities, to build solutions, to look into the communities, to the economy, and provide solutions through their own means. It could be that they say, no, we want to build a conference where we are dealing with women in technology, as an example. So this student would lead that, and then he would come to me and I'll give him hints. And because for us, we just sit at the back and we allow them to. We don't want to be in front of them. We allow them to express. So Google provides that to our students.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That seems like a good initiative. Is still ongoing?
Very much, yes.
How many students?
So far, because we have a Facebook, they have a Facebook page, because I wouldn't want to say it's mine, because it's theirs. For me, I'm just a patron. And normally, every student who comes in as a new student lead at Botswana Accountancy College comes through myself, and I have to give them a thumbs up, and then Google can accredit them as a student lead. So as it stands, we already have, I think UB now has joined in, BUST has joined in, yes. So now, even in Botswana, we have Google developer experts who now become mentors to these young people. So
based on your experience looking back, and you might be watched right now by a former headman or some head boy struggling to find mentorship to change their lives, to change their future. What advice would you give them? How do they position themselves to find a mentor, or to change their lives through mentorship, or shall I say inspirational mentorship?
No, I think to answer that, I think I would have to use my own experience. I always tell people that resilience, be resilient in everything that you do. Never give in, persevere. Never look at anything that is outside of yourself that can twist your mindset. So believe that beyond all the hurdles, beyond all the tribulations, you can overcome. That is the teachings that we always get. Learn from your past and the present, so that you become a better version of yourself tomorrow. Then the other thing that you need to know as a person, you need to be able to self-discovery. You need to look at yourself, introspect, look at what you are doing and how best you can do it. Because otherwise we would say learning ever stops. Does it ever stop? If we are saying learning never stops, then you can even learn the good traits of yourself and the bad traits of yourself. That I'm not doing good on this one. How do I solve this? And sometimes to do that, you can take a vacation. Take a road trip. And sometimes I would do that. Myself, I would do that. Even when I was still working at BAC, I would just take a drive.
Yeah, but how do you position yourself to connect with the mentor? That's what I'm asking you.
To connect with the mentor?
Yeah, to be able to take advantage of mentorship services. How did you do it? How can other people do it?
I would want to say your self-worth is your network. Something that I've learned. So, and your network is the people you associate with. Your network is the people you meet. If you meet the right people and you learn from the right people, you'd want to become more of yourself because of the lessons that you get from these people. So it is through that networking and knowing people. Had I not went to your dad's Cattlepost, maybe I wouldn't have even been his head boy who looked after me, who gave me something to wear to school, who bought me toiletry beyond what he was paying me. Had I not gone there, maybe I would have never met him. But because of connecting and going out there to reach out to people, that is which.
Now it's getting out of your comfort.
Get out of your comfort zone. Meet people out there.
Leave your house, for instance.
Leave your house. Go out there, meet people. Because I've also said you can make 10 friends in a year by sitting down and letting people come to you. But you can make 1,000 friends if you reach out to people. And when you are meeting people, don't forget who you are. Be yourself.
Be genuine.
Be genuine.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about your current focus. Women in tech. What is that all about?
Women in tech, I would want to say for that, it's something that really connects so dearly with me, because I think to a larger extent, even through research, through the UN and other world organizations, you would realize girl child and women have kind of like been left behind in these areas of technology. And interestingly, there's a young girl who was who just handed over. She was the BAC student, Google developer student lead. And she's so interested on becoming more. And even to this time, I still talk to her. She asks me, and I even asked her, I want you to be there also, so that when I tell people about women in tech, engaging and understanding women, because we cannot be the problem solvers of women in tech when we don't understand their perspective, when you don't understand their needs. We need to be there to understand and hear them out. When we do, that's when we can now be able to solve their problems and engage them in technology. I want to see women being there talking about AI. Women be there talking about artificial intelligence, talking about data science, drafting our ICT policies.
So, what is this organization doing exactly? Is it? Let's talk about SCIS.
No, SCIS is it's just a School of Computing and Information Systems. That is the department or the school in which, because BAC is divided into multiple, schools. There's business and leisure. There's professional studies.
So what I'm asking you is what deliberate steps are they
doing to support this?
To support women, to support this?
There's a very much that they are doing. Sometimes it's the overburden that we also have as lecturers. When you have to to do these things, you also have to do assessments, you have to do markings and stuff. And so at times it delays the project. But it's something that the BAC in general are supporting. And the School of Computing and Information System through its director, Dr. Male, we really move. At the moment, I've sent emails regarding the next 5-year plan. I've sent it out so that they look at it, such that we know the steps that we take from now into 2028, so that we move to that. And there are milestones in there that which we have to gauge whether we are moving on the right direction, whether we are moving according to the plan.
Yeah.
So that is where you always get support, because sometimes when you do these sessions, you need the institution's support, either financially or even giving you resources. Like it can be a hall, it can be the finances and other resources like people.
If it were somehow magically possible for Mr. Nono for Lerumo Mogobe to come and meet with you, and you had an opportunity to speak to him and let him know about your life, the impact he's had, what is it you'd be telling him?
First thing I would have to shake his hand, hug him, and tell him, I have become, and you are the reason for who I am. And I know there is more to do. Because we don't stop here. There is more to do.
And would you want to tell him how directly he's impacted you?
Would I be here? Based on that story, because surely I would have to share him, who I am at this moment, who I was. But it's through you that which we have attained, that which we have achieved. And we have achieved this for not seeing a head boy in me.
Just because he believed in you.
Believing in another person. And if you believe in another person, and make sure that they also can believe in themselves.
At the beginning, I called you an entrepreneur, which is an entrepreneur within an organization. Is there any chance that you'd become a fully fledged entrepreneur? And let me ask it differently. What do you see in that crystal ball if you look 20, 30 years down the line?
For that, I don't think at times, because what prides us is to see other people excelling and knowing that I have built this project. I have seen young boys going out there becoming millionaires and, being proud to see them there. But sometimes there has to be an end to move, like we were saying earlier on, move away from your comfort zone. So I have looked at that, and I have told myself I need to leave this space. I've been in this space for far too long. Young as I am, it has been 14 years, because I started the BAC as a lecturer since 2009, July 2009. Up to now, that's 14 years. So sometimes you feel like, no, I've done enough. I've done my part. I need to change place. I need to change face. And that is why you would need also to, to know the ground level. And setting up small businesses like that, and what you learn in terms of setting up a business in Botswana, which industry do you feel you can go into? I've already done that. So I want to see myself becoming an entrepreneur, and in some certain areas, because I also believe what has killed entrepreneurs in Botswana is just to have one thing that is the source. If you have a company, make sure that you also streamline all your income, revenues. Reinvest on other areas, not just one thing. If you have a security company, make sure that the revenue you get, that the profits you get, that you reinvest into other avenues. Don't stick to just one thing, because the economies are unpredictable. Tomorrow, this particular one, even like real estate, we've seen markets going down, we've seen prices going down. So you need to really, diversify.
So at this stage, I don't think you want to tell us anything specific.
At this moment, there's nothing really specific, lest I sell myself out. The employer might be watching this and saying, "Oh, so this boy has a company out there, so we're going to catch him." So,
So you are careful about
you
that
have to.
one.
Yeah.
All right. Is there any question you have for me?
My question is, I think I like the fact that we just mentioned issues around entrepreneurship. I want to ask, how does small companies, startup companies that are new in any given market, able to penetrate Botswana market in terms of businesses? Because I've looked out and I've seen lots and lots of people, local, at any municipality, people are a lot more into, supplying water, supplying this and that, getting 3,000. And people are not really succeeding. What does it take for really someone to make it as a new company that is just starting up? Because I've seen that a lot of companies are kind of like struggling in Botswana.
Yeah. No, the failure rate for startups is very high. Some say it's 70%, some say it's 80%. But the minority that succeeds has certain traits and characteristics. One of which is the never say die attitude, the attitude of determination. That's number one. And then number two is the willingness of the founder or the director to adapt, to learn to new things. And normally, if such a founder is an avid reader, it helps. And it's somebody who's really willing to apply themselves constantly and repeatedly. And obviously, people talk of passion. So normally, because it's so hard, you need a certain amount of passion where at some point it's not just about money that you're looking for. It is a bigger picture. You have identified your purpose, you are pursuing that purpose, and you are determined, and you have that grit, that sense of determination and perseverance that goes with it. They've written books about this, but ultimately, grit and determination and focus, and the fact that you're solving a specific solution and that you don't give up. Persistence is a beautiful thing. It somehow always seems to reward. So sometimes some founders tend to give up. They tend to be dissuaded. They tend to do the opposite of what you mentioned. You said you must have inner core of positive energy, and you need to be not controlled from outside, controlled from within. So those are the sort of things that come to play. But they've written books on this. It's a very vast subject, but I think grit, in one word, grit is very important.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. As we conclude our conversation, say, look at that camera and leave the viewer with an uplifting word of encouragement.
Hello, viewers. Baseki here. I want, having shared my story here of life, I want to tell you, viewers, that in any tribulation in life, no matter the hurdles of life, you've always got to believe that the power is within yourself, that which you can become what you wish for, and be resilient. Be a visionary of life. See yourself beyond tomorrow. we plan ahead, we decide our own future. It is the experience and the lessons we have learned in life that can define who we become tomorrow. And every step of the way, remember, it's that resilience, the power, the positive energy that you have from within, that you exert in the world, that will build your tomorrow. Second thing, make sure that you go out of your comfort zone, meet people, and meet the right people. Thank you.
Thank you for those kind words. Do you want to leave them with your contact details?
Victor Baseki's contact is 73681007 or 753000237.
Social media?
Social media, it's Victor with K, VIKTOR .BARCEQIE. I got creative on writing my Baseki. That's Baseki, Victor Baseki there. I'm not really much into other social medias like Instagram. I think I have Twitter. Twitter, it's victor.baseki. But I'm not really much into X at the moment.
You're most welcome. Thank you
for coming, sir. Thank you for coming.
It has been a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure was mine.
To share this inspiring story.
Thank you very much.